Hello, I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic, and in this video let's explore what to expect from taking photos with the Honor Magic7 Pro. We'll take a quick look together at about 200 test photos taken in many places from Prague at night to the snowy hills of Slovenia. Let's do it! What you'll see in this video. First, we'll summarize the main technical specifications of this mobile phone and what lenses, sensors, functions and key settings it has. We'll test what AI can do to enhance digital zoom photos, and then we'll dive into the 200 or so photos from different places and situations to see what the Honor Magic7 Pro can offer. First, let's see what lenses and sensors we have here. Of course, the most important lens and sensor would be the main one. It has 50 megapixels and you can see some examples of the shots I have taken in the mountains or in a cafe or in Prague at night. And it's of course the most important tool for you. And one more example of a wine cellar and quite complex and complicated light. What would really matter a lot would be the second lens, second sensor, which has 200 megapixels. And it's quite important because, of course, it allows us to zoom, well, to the Prague or people. It's, of course, the key tool for portraits. And thanks, Teresa, for letting me to use these shots. And apart from details of a cat or a mountains, it'll be the key tool for the really interesting thing, which is zooming. And once again, it has 200 megapixels, which is quite untypical for, well, a telezoom lens in mobile phone, and it can give us quite reasonable results. I'm zooming here in Slovenia, and that is when I zoom to 100, which is really extreme, but interesting. And it gets even more interesting when I allow artificial intelligence to work here. I will show you a couple of examples in a couple of seconds. The third lens, third sensor is the ultra wide, so it's quite often overlooked thing, but now you can see how important it is in the mountains or during, well, situations like that when you want to take macro shots. And it should be noted that macro is actually happening from that sensor. You'll get some really nice results like here. As I mentioned, the function which is really interesting is the zoom, and zoom supported by first 200 megapixels of the sensor and then the AI. Of course, AI works in pretty much any new mobile phone, but you can see that we get to really interesting levels here. That would be the ultra wide, and I'm just going down, 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 and suddenly you can see there is a very small building somewhere there, and I can get up to 100 once again. And if I allow the AI to work with that shot, we can clearly see what we get. And yes, of course, the algorithms probably could not read much from that source shot, so they just come up with some solutions. Certainly, if you see the comparison here, you can't see the flower, which is clearly painted in the up right corner. And this is quite important because it draws us to not easy question what is acceptable and what is not. I would definitely turn it off here. But one more example, again, the mountains of Slovenia, and we are zooming, zooming, zooming. This is still all right, and you can see that suddenly we hit 100 again. And it's, well, fair enough, the distance is huge, but if we let AI to recreate that shot, this is, well, honestly, quite decent result, because if you've shown me that, I wouldn't know that AI just reworked this shot. So I think this is one of the examples where it certainly makes sense for some users. One more example, the famous church on an island on the Bled Lake. I am zooming, and at a certain point, when I activate the AI, it just has to come up with its own imagination, own solution, and well, fortunately, you are able to turn it off even after you've taken the shot, which I would probably do here. Some more interesting tools. There is something called profiles, which allows you to use 3 different options of the default feel and look, and I found it quite useful. And also, if you are a photographer, you should test the possibility to change aperture. At the main sensor, main lens, you have the option to switch between 1,4 to 2. This is the mode called aperture, where you are away from the portrait mode, but you are able to get the same result. So the background is blurred and you can regulate the level of how much it is blurred, and it could really be useful. One more feature, the feature I really loved, is called stage. And you might really easily overlook it, but you should not if you buy that mobile phone, because it does real magic. If you have ever taken shots from a concert or a conference like here, you know how hard it is. But that mobile is able to set the settings so the movement is not blurred, and probably it's able to use some AI tricks. So it does indeed make sense to use it in situations like that, and I really liked it a lot. And now I suggest we go very quickly through those 200 photos. I'll be going in a quite big speed, because sometimes you are criticizing me, writing me, please do not go that quick. But, well, frankly, why am I jumping from one photo to another? Is that I'm really trying to give you a chance to get a feeling, because the feeling, what to expect from that mobile phone, is quite important. And I was really quite pleased from what I got under these really tough circumstances. Beautiful sunset, and the results are really nice. Some more examples here, and the blue sky in the blue hour, and my favorite testing object, the trams here in Prague in the Czech Republic. A lot of colors, blue sky, lights, and Wenceslav Square in the heart of Prague. You won't definitely be disappointed, because the results are really nice even when we zoom. One more situation in the Czech Republic. I love wine, so why don't we just go to the wine cellar here in this beautiful old castle, and a couple of shots. Well, this is quite boring shot, but you know that the light was very low, the colors were dimmed, but still you can get quite nice results. As you can see, some more shots from cafes, cakes, flowers, and as I already mentioned, please do not forget that the macro mode is quite nice, and do not forget to test it if you happen to have that mobile phone in your hands. And now I suggest we jump to Slovenia, to the beautiful mountains of Triglav National Park. And we've already seen that. We've seen how easy it is to zoom with that mobile phone, but let's see some more examples. And again, I'll be going very quickly. And you know, if you ever taken shots under conditions like that, you know, it's very hard, because there's a lot of light, a lot of contrasts. And I have to say that I was really quite satisfied by the results I got. So I can guess that you will not be disappointed as well. One more example of zooming, not to 100 these times, but it's alright, in some very important category of shots. People in mountains, people in direct sunlight, and once again, portrait mode. And beautiful landscape again, which is a little bit more blue than I would have loved, but this is my fault. I just activated the old AI camera mode, which is trying to determine that if there is sky in the shot, that tries to keep the sky blue, which was reflected on the color of snow. So be a little bit careful about this mode, but of course it would be very easy to deactivate it and to use some filter. But as you know, I did not touch any filters, any editing tools, so you can see exactly what you'll get from the camera. And some more beautiful valleys of Triglav National Park in Slovenia, some more details, a cat, which surprisingly enough was willing to pose for shots. Nice light, nice conditions, and the sun disappeared, but still you can find really interesting examples of photos here. And one more situation when the fog was falling and the snow was white and black. And if you have ever tried to take decent shots under these conditions, you know how hard it can be. And once again, I have to admit that the results are really good. And I should not forget to mention the display, which is extremely useful under direct sunlight and really is clearly visible. And a very last 2 shots from Bled Castle over the lake, and you know, this is again quite tough mission. I am zooming, no light, it's darkness, but still the results are really nice. And you might be asking, what about a video? And again, like in all of my past reviews, I have to apologize because I am really not good at evaluating videos. So the best thing I can do is just to show you a couple of examples. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So these are examples of recordings taken in 4K, and it's up to you to see if you like them or not. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope I gave you some inspiration, and take care. I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic.